Before I get into my picks, I do want to talk a little bit about the impact that silent horror has had on me. To me, it introduced a purely visual form of storytelling, and a lot of the time, some really brilliant windows into the human psyche. I also want to do a quick honorable mentions list just because there are so many really good silent horror films. So that'll be 1910's Frankenstein, which was the first film version of Mary Shelley's novel, 1922's Hexen, 1925's The Monster starring Lon Chaney, and 1928's The Man Who Laughs. Check them out. First up, I'm going to talk about F.W. Murnau's Faust from 1926, about a wager that is made between God and the devil over the fate of a mortal man and the ongoing war that is waged between heaven and hell. The thing I really love about this movie is that most of our modern depictions of angels and demons derive from this film. It's very stylized in how it depicts both the dark and the light sides of faith, and it does that in such a beautiful way. Next up, I'm going to talk about Lon Chaney's Phantom of the Opera from 1925, about a disfigured music composer that lives in the catacombs underneath the Paris Opera House and develops an obsession with one of the opera singers in the company. Now, you can't talk about this movie without bringing up the man of a thousand faces himself, Lon Chaney, as the title character of the Phantom. He does such a great job. He's so versatile through the makeup and the fake dentures and the prosthetics. He can be scary at times, but he's also a very endearing character. You sort of pity him toward the end of the movie, and it's really a great watch. The next movie I'm going to talk about is widely considered to be the very first horror film, and it is The Cabinet of Dr. Caligari, about three friends, Jane, Francis, and Alan, who attend a fair where they encounter the elusive magician Caligari, who just so happens to have a sleepwalker servant, Cesar or Cesari, depending, who he sends out to do his bidding and commit murders. The German expressionism in this film is also brilliantly done, with skewed archways, sidewalks that lead nowhere, and crooked windows. Apart from this being one of the very first feature-length horror films, it is also in a way a recollection story. The film opens with two men sitting on a bench, and one of them decides to tell the other a story, and the story is the film. This movie also has one of the first, if not the first, murders in a film. Even though it's not on screen, it's just a shadow on a wall, it's still very chilling. Well, that's it for today, you guys. Check back in tomorrow where I'll be talking about my favorite of the silent horror films.